England have to win if they want to square the series with Pakistan. Pakistan say they want to win, but we know that they too can be quite happy with a draw. The teams, well, there's something unusual about the two sides as they were listed at the toss, because there are two spinners in each of those lineups. For England, Edmonds and Embury, and for Pakistan, Tosif Ahmed and Abdul Qadir. A full complement of pace bowlers as well. Each side is strong in batting. The umpires, both of them under a considerable amount of pressure because of certain happenings from the Pakistan camp, David Constant and Ken Palmer. Well, Pakistan won the toss, a very good toss it was too. They elected to bat in conditions that were just about perfect. The pitch looked to be an absolute belter. Here's the third ball of the day now. Graham Dilley is the bowler and Mudassar Nazar is taking strike. And first blood to Pakistan. The outfield is quick. He didn't quite time that. And 4 runs on the board. Now from the pavilion end, it's Neil Foster bowling to Ramiz Raja. Well, he too is off the mark with a boundary, but with nowhere near the amount of sureness of Mudassar Nazar.
Well, remarkable shot this. Well outside the off stump and swinging away, and he's trying to paddle it over mid-wicket.
That's a better looking stroke. We'll race away down that slope there towards the right-hand side of the ground as we look at it from the pavilion.
Good delivery there from Graham Dilley. I think he learnt from the previous over that Ramiz Raja is going to have a go at the short one.
There's a problem here with the ball. Looks as though a hunk has been taken out of it from that last stroke. Oh, yes, you can see it standing up there. A feeling that might have come off his helmet. That might have taken the piece out of the ball. May have been the shoulder of the bat. Yes, it looked to me as though it hit the peak of the helmet, and that has caused the damage. That's the damaged one going back in. David Constant says he'd prefer a round one.
The ball hasn't swung very much. There's a chunk being taken out of the old one, and now this one must be very new. We might see it swing.
They've tested Ramiz Raja with the bouncer twice this morning. He didn't handle it too well, but he got that one away okay. Ian Botham is to come on from the pavilion end. It's a good move just to see if there is going to be any swing.
Tremendous record there. The world's leading test wicket taker.
And he's added one to it. Well, that's a good move from Mike Gatting. Wasn't that Foster was bowling badly, but it was just the change might have broken through, and that's the way it turned out.
Yes, this one just drifting away, actually, holding its own. The previous two deliveries had swung in a little bit, and Rami's playing all the way around that. He should have been playing that at mid-off, and he was aiming at mid-wicket. Very good piece of bowling by Ian Botham.
Mansour Akhtar is by far the leading Pakistan batsman of the summer. He's had a marvellous summer, 13 matches, and he's got 1,151 runs, an average of 57.55, 400s, 550s. He's scored probably twice as many runs as the nearest Pakistan batsman.
Bowled. Beautiful last delivery. We were talking about that little bit of movement away. Well, it certainly happened there.
Pakistan now moving on to 41 for 1. 12 overs gone. Well, again, no third man on, and Mansur driving at that, getting a semi-edge, but on the floor, no chance, and 4 runs to third man again.
Yes, the encouraging thing from an England point of view is that ball's just started to swing a little bit for Graham Dilley. Very thick outside edge and went straight along the ground.
Yes, a bit of outswing there again, and playing forward, just a thin outside edge. Bit of disreward there from Graham Dilley. He's certainly got the ball to move away. That may have been just a little bit wide, but still a pretty good delivery.
That's quite wide outside the off stump, and really speaking, he got his foot there after the ball had gone by. Quite a thick outside edge, and Bruce French taking that in front of John Emburey. Very good wicket for Graham Dilley.
And England settling down a bit now after a bit of slack start, getting those 2 wickets, and after what was a very good start for Pakistan, the pressure's now back on them.
And this man taking strike now is probably the most prized batsman in Pakistan at the moment. He's a magnificent player, and I'm sure England will be looking to get rid of him as early as possible.
A slight delay there. The pigeon just went straight across the middle there. Could well have got that if he released the ball. But he's probably just had his ankle a bit pulling up there in mid-stride. That could be a bit of a blow for England.
Ian Botham to continue what's been an excellent spell so far. And really the honours in the first hour to England.
Fine stroke this time. Not really leaning to that on his front foot, but he's a little bit with the weight on the back foot, but still managing to keep it down.
And that takes Javed Miandad to 6,000 runs in Test cricket, and what a great stroke to do it with.
Oh, he's gone for the hook shot, and just dropping short there of Neil Foster. Couldn't control that. He had to pull it from outside off stump there, and Javed was caught in no man's land there, but luckily it didn't carry down to fine leg.
Just about a yard short of getting there to make what would have then been a much more comfortable catch. Great effort for a bowler to come in and throw himself forward. Just about got his hands to it on Yorker length.
Going to be a change of bowling at the pavilion end. Mike Gatting going to try a spinner. John Emburey. That's probably quite good tactics, because there's bound to be some damp in that wicket.
Foster's been brought in close there to save the single.
Well, perfect sweep. Picked up the line quickly. We see that drifting down leg side. See how he hits down on it, rolls the wrists over. Not the slightest risk in the shot, and 4 good runs.
Phil Edmonds. Just 10 minutes to go to the luncheon interval. Beautifully hit. The footwork was good too.
And Javed very keen to get after the spinners. Beautifully down the wicket. Perfectly safe shot. No one in the outfield.
Beautiful stroke from Javed Miandad. And not the first one played by the right-hander in that period before lunch. 4 more runs added to take Pakistan's score up to 95 for 2. And in the course of that, the 50 partnership came up as well between Mudassir Nazar and Javed Miandad. A very good effort for Pakistan. England got through twice, once Dilley, once Botham. But it looked as though once the pitch settled down, a little bit of bounce there early on, once it settled down, it was going to be a very, very good batting strip. Embury got some spin before lunch. Whether that would happen after lunch, though, is an entirely different matter, because sometimes there's a bit of moisture just under the surface. 7 overs, 2 maidens, no wicket for 12 for him, and Edmonds was hit down the ground twice by Javed Miandad. We pick play up now after lunch with 4 runs added. Mudassir Nazar has moved along to 49. John Embury is the bowler.
It's 50 for Mudassir, so he's having a very good series, both batting and bowling. Chance there. Certainly Graham getting that one to move away to Mudassir, and the ball going between Bruce French and Embury at first slip.
Fine delivery from Dilley.
Looks like Neil Ratford's having to come on to stay for a while this time. Graham Dilley looks like he's leaving the field.
It may well be the ball that he pulled up for when that pigeon flew straight across the batsman.
John Embury just straying a bit on the line this over. One down the leg side, one wide of the offside, and pretty quick to get onto that there. 4 more runs. The news on Graham Dilley is that he is having an ankle strapped, which possibly was when they had to pull up very quickly when the pigeon flew across the wicket early on. Ian Botham's going to have a ball from the Vauxhall end, ball from the Pavilion end early this morning. Ian Botham just over pitching, and that's just pushing it away nicely. No real power, just steered through the cover area. 2 runs.
Well, Botham was giving the batsman a long, hard look, and I suspect his skipper as well. Neither would blame. It was just that it was a ball well wide of the stumps that gave the batsman the scope for the stroke. 100 partnership up in 203 balls faced. Gone, well bowled. Mudassir 73 to follow his century in the Edgbaston Test. But an excellent piece of bowling on a pitch that's in favour of the batsman.
We'll see this just outside off stump, straightening, getting the edge. Nicely taken at slip there by Moxon.
Salim Malik. 148 for 3 now. Foster from the Pavilion end. You wouldn't actually say that Dilly, who has been off the field for treatment, was putting in the big ones round the boundary there. 150 is up for Pakistan now. The last 50 from only 79 deliveries. Oh, that's close.
Yes, useful delivery, just swinging in a little and possibly just missing the leg stump. But a fair shout.
Wasn't he beautifully over the ball there with that roll of the wrists?
Doesn't look very happy at all, because Neil Foster appeared to be feeling his back a little. In fact, he's so unhappy, I think he's leaving the field. And Foster having left the field, Mike Gatting has turned to Phil Edmonds to bowl from the pavilion end here.
Well, that's the first one that Phil Edmonds has nearly got to bite. A little bit wide of off stump, but that certainly turned and lifted.
And the end of a very, very good over. Phil Edmonds getting everyone on the front foot, and that turned, bounced, superb delivery.
Change of bowling again at the Vauxhall end. John Embry's going to try his luck at that end. And then trying to overcorrect it, which he did before, rolls it too wide of the off stump. And Javed very quick to get onto that, and that's 4 runs past David Gower at cover.
Well, the 50 partnership coming up, and that's a short delivery, which, again, nothing risky at all from Miandad. Quite happy just to play it down for one rather than risk the big hit on this very, very big ground.
.200 up for Pakistan. In the 66th over.
Once again, having said Edmonds has not been short, he's given Javed the chance to cut now on 3 occasions. .99 for Javed Miandad. Lovely shot. That's as good as anything he's played today.
Short again. Not great bowling from Philip Edmonds, but beautifully played.
The field is just closing in a little, just to make sure they can cut off the push for the single. Both these men are quick between the wickets. And there it is. 100 for Javed Miandad. A very good innings, no chances. His first 100 against England. Fielded. Brilliantly done by Edmonds. Javed has gone past the 6,000 run mark. That list involves those who've made 5,000 test match runs at an average of over 50. Javed's the only player in this game here at the Oval to have an average above the 50 mark.
Again, Phil Edmonds just pitching a little on the short side, and both these players are pretty quick to get on the back foot and cut it away square on the other side.
It's the 100 partnership. It's come off 230 balls. Mark Gatting's now decided to take that new ball. Graham Dilley to operate with it from the Vauxhall end.
Well, that's unlucky for Graham Dilley. He got that one to bounce a bit and just run away, and they've had 3 slips most of the day, and if there'd been a 3rd slip there, it would have been straight in.
Yes, it was the bounce that did him.
With Neil Foster off the field, Ian Botham having to take the new ball. He's bowling to Salim Malik. And straight away, a long hop. That wasn't a bouncer, it was just a short ball, and pulled away to square leg for 4 runs. Well, that was a great delivery, nipping back and going straight through between bat and pad.
Well, whatever that missed, it wasn't by much, because it's nipped back just past off stump and the inside edge, and how unlucky there. One of the best balls of the day, really. Seaming back from outside off stump. We'll see that. Just going past the top corner of off stump. Fortunate to escape on 2 counts.
Well, a bit uppish, but wide of Phil Edmonds in the gully, no 3rd man on, so that's 4 more to Meandad.
Well, he's not going to sleep there. Absolutely keyed up to make sure that he's, if possible, he can still be there at close of play and start all over again tomorrow. And his 1500s there. Well, he's had 2 doubles and 3 doubles and several very big ones, and there's no end to the man.
Oh, that's a miss-hit shot, but it's gone safe again, and it's 4 more runs. So no luck for Graham Dilley in this spell. He's could have had him caught at 3rd slip and miss-hook there, but again going safe.
Yes, he never got inside this at all. There's no control in the shot, which one of the few in the innings that he's played in that way. More of a top edge than anything.
And there's a shout there, a slower ball, and that got to be pretty close there.
Well, Yorker length this, obviously leg stump-ish, but umpire Palmer fairly sure that would have gone on down leg side. Don't think there's much argument about that.
.50 for Salim Malik. He'll enjoy that. There's a little bit of byplay between him and Ian Botham early on, where Botham was wringing his hands in mock despair at the power with which Salim Malik was pushing the ball back at him. classic stroke. Salim Malik.
Well, no question about this. For me, the shot of the day. Beautiful stroke. Foot right across to the pitch of the ball. And a lovely follow through there. A real cracking shot.
Graham Dilley is coming off the field and Mike Gatting is going to bowl. Well, the shout from out there rather indicates that that might have been put down on the leg side by Bruce French.
Yes, well, there was certainly no pad anywhere near it. So I think that might have been a little nick.
It might well have been a little nick, judging from the actions and reactions of the players. What a triumph that would have been for Mike Gatting to bring himself on after Dilley had gone off the field and pick up that very important wicket. 131 to Javed Miandad, 64 to Salim Malik, and they're within 5 runs of establishing a new 4th wicket record for Pakistan against England. 7 more runs were added to take Pakistan up to that 297 for 3, and the bowlers had to work very hard today. Botham, I thought, was the best. 2 for 71 in 22 overs and 4 maidens. Didn't seem to me to have a great deal of good fortune out there. The other wicket to Dilley, who came back well despite that injury he suffered, the unusual one when that pigeon flew across the pitch when he was in delivery stride. The spinner's a little disappointing. Some spin there for Embury before lunch, but it did disappear in the final 2 sessions. None for 69 for him and none for 50 for Philippe Edmonds. For Javed Miandad, in the first over, Salim Malik picked up 2 runs to bring up the 150 partnership and take the score along to 299. Here he is now, facing the last ball of that over. Ian Botham is the bowler.
300 up then for Pakistan. The last 50 coming off 94 balls, so that's a little bit quicker than the previous one. I think we might even see quicker than that if these 2 aren't dismissed quite quickly. Graham Dilley's going to be bowling to a similar field to Ian Botham. 3 slips gully, cover mid-off, mid-on, and the man just behind square rather than the mid-wicket, what Botham has, and a long leg. Four runs. Little leg glance there, just down. Graham Dilley just erring a little bit down the leg side again. But when the total reached 302, that was a new 4th wicket record for Pakistan versus England of 154. And that's 4 more runs there to Javed Miandad. Both of them just again erring on that leg stump. All the Pakistan players are very strong off that leg stump.
Need 2 wicket keepers there. Nothing French could do about that. It was a good delivery from Dilley. He was sensibly and correctly going slightly to his right.
Yes, and a real piece of luck this for Javed Miandad, sort of going back, forward, across, leaving a gap, a little inside edge, and that must have missed the leg stump by a whisker.
.150 for Javed Miandad.
Well, fine innings continuing. He hasn't been quite as fluent this morning, but Salim Malik has taken over that role.
.350 up.
Phil Edmonds bowling from the pavilion end. And a glorious cut again. He really just played that stroke beautifully. There's Mohammed. And there'll be another 3 in it there.
Well, you won't see a better square cut than this. Everything's right. Look at that. Wrists rolling over. Crisp timing.
Oh, Salam Malik couldn't help scoring in the first half hour. Every time he put back to ball, there were runs. But since he's got on 99, doesn't seem to be a one anywhere. Well, he's made it this time, and he's delighted, absolutely delighted. Obviously, a bit of pressure in there, but he's over the moon at the moment. And he has played particularly well this morning. Getting a great reception here from what's just about a full house now. Good crowd here at the Oval. And congratulations there from Gavin Member. Having a change at the pavilion. John Embry taking over from Phil Edmonds. And the England over rate's got to be maintained reasonably good, because I would think a spinner's going to be born at one end at least most of the day. Well, I thought at first that Mandel made really good contact with that. He got to go high up the back, but it's still gone for 6 runs straight. Well, Salam Malik there trying to hit it on the up. Flat batting it, not quite timing it, and the ball just going pretty reasonably steady to David Gower at cover.
Well, that's the end of a partnership which added 234, and he effectively sealed the match really and put it out of England's reach. But fine innings. Imran Khan, skipper, coming now to join his vice-captain, so we've got the dressing room think tank out there together.
That's the fall of the wicket. Trying to flat bat it there, pretty wide delivery, good length, and just a gentle catch to David Gower. Well, that's not a bad way to get off the mark. Ian Botham pitching short, Imran Khan going for the pull. A long run there for Neil Radford. 3 runs taken.
Well, a reversal of the action on that Saturday evening at Edgbaston, where Imran whacked one in and Botham promptly hooked it away, and there we are, first ball.
And that's what he thinks of that. Straight into the crowd over long on. No trouble at all.
Well, the captain's come to impose himself.
Nicely played. Robinson will need to be quick there. It's the 3 runs to Javed Mir. 400 for 4. 183 to Javed, 12 to Imran. And very well they're going too. It looks to be the start of an ominous partnership. Imran Khan started off with a real bang, but he's gone steadily along to this point. 6 more were added up to the luncheon interval to take it along to 406 for 4. No fun for the England bowlers this morning, although they kept Pakistan quiet in the first hour. Pakistan got away from them a little in the second. 3 wickets to Botham and the 1 to Dilly. So it was all Pakistan again this morning. We pick it up now with the second ball of the 3rd over after the luncheon break. Just 2 more runs have been added, and it's John Embry coming in to bowl to Javed Miandad. And that's just short of Ian Botham. Good attempt. Not many like that have come England's way. Just a bit short, but good anticipation. He hits. Well, I got a single, but it was worth the go. I think Dilley gave Moxon a half sideways look there when he knew it had cost him a run, but it might well have taken the wicket.
Well, Jarvid's refusal shows there wasn't a run there. That would have been extremely close with a hit. Good bit of fielding. But Jarvid and Imran can't quite get onto the same running between the wicket wavelength yet.
It's just in front of Bruce French. There was a slower ball, so it was less likely to carry.
Well, that's twice since lunch that Graham Dilley's got past the bat on the outside. He really has bowled extremely well in this session. Just not getting through to Bruce French.
And change of bowling at the Vauxhall end. Ian Botham taking over from Graham Dilley. And straight away over pitching a little bit, and Meandad again off his legs, very powerful, 4 runs to mid-wicket.
That takes Jarvid to just 1 run away from what will be his 4th double 100 for Pakistan.
And that's the 200 for Javed Meandad. Beautifully played. His 4th innings above 200. And they've been made. His second 100 was his first 200. His 10th is either 14th and 15th. 4 double hundreds. That's the Pakistan balcony, all the members of the team and supporters, and really a tremendous performance. Both playing for a bit of punishment again, trying the bouncer, and Meandad hooking that down square, no problem at all.
Yes, I think one of the problems is that Botham's bowling to a split field here, 4 and 5, and there's no margin for error at all on this pitch. But how close he was to getting a wicket there. Bent his back a little bit more and hurried that one through, getting a little bit of bounce there. Jarvid getting back to give it a real crack, but falling away as he's playing the shot.
Both of them just have a pitching there, and Imran Khan very quickly into that through extra cover.
Change in the attack. Ian Botham having a rest, and Phil Edmonds going to continue the attack from the Vauxhall end.
.450 up, 450 for 4. And surprisingly, the last 50 came off 155 balls, which is the slowest 50 of the whole innings. Just showing how much Imran Khan is intent on grinding England in down there. Imran going for the big one here and catching an outside edge, but luckily just clearing cover.
Beautifully placed. Radford is the fielder.
Marvellous running there. They've run 4. Beautiful stroke. Java just waiting for that one that's drifting down the leg side and clipping it beautifully through mid-wicket there. Super shot. Very, very high-class batting.
Well bowled again. In the end, Javed adjusted well to it, the fact that the ball spun back from outside his off stump.
Yes, he was looking to hit that one square.
Just about through that spot, I should think.
Yes, the big difference was that was a little bit shorter, and he had all the time in the world to get in position. No pace in this pitch for the spinners.
Great stroke.
That is the 100 partnership. Now we have another change in the attack. We have a new England bowler, Martin Moxon. He's coming into the attack. He bowls gentle medium pace.
Pleasure there for that section of the crowd, and appreciation from all over for the half-century for the Pakistan captain. Gatting is to come on from the pavilion end.
I wonder if those 3 England selectors ever thought that they'd be seeing the England bowling in the hands of Mike Gatting and Martin Moxon before tea on the second day.
Up for Pakistan, and just 4 wickets down. Different colour, that 5, different from the other figures there.
Just wonder what colour 6 they've got there, because I have a feeling we might see it.
This is the 86th over, so the new ball is available. Mike Gatting hasn't taken it immediately. Martin Moxon himself have been bowling since tea. Interested to see if he does take it the next over. An attempted bouncer. Got a bit of pace into it, but unfortunately the direction was wrong. The most distance there was to Bruce French. I think he was in the most problem.
Yes, not a very nice one for him to take. He did very well to get his gloves on it.
Semi-edge again there, and another long chase for John Embry, but he won't stop it this time. And that's 250 for Mohammad. Marvellous innings, marvellous piece of concentration, running between the wickets, always working away. A generous round of applause from this full house here at the Oval. Mike Gatting now then probably decide to take the new ball. Graham Dilley is going to bowl from the Vauxhall end. And a brilliant piece of fielding there by Phil Edmonds. A full square cut there by Mandad. But a full-length dive to his right. Beautiful piece of fielding. Oh, that's a cracking square drive forehand. And that's Imran Khan's highest score against England, beating the 67 previously made at Headingley. A beautiful pull shot there, not bothering to try and get inside it and pull it to square leg, just leaning back and hitting it over long on for four.
This shows that anything short, I've got all the time in the world.
But Ian Botham to continue now from the pavilion end. Oh, that was a fine delivery. And at 253, you can get the ball past the bat like that, you do pretty well.
Well, my goodness, you'd think he'd get a nick on it. Really, very good delivery, just moved away off the seam.
It's a nice shot from Imran. Gatting has the chase there. He's going to get away from him down the hill. Once again, a delightful stroke from the Pakistan captain.
Yes, Imran's concentration not wavering at all. Just a turn of the wrists there. A shot of timing there.
Good shot.
Well, Imran's eye is now in. Whether he's in the 90s or not, if there's a ball there that he fancies, then full treatment. Look at the lovely footwork here. Cross. Bang. 99.
100 in what he says will be his last test match. A great performance from Imran Khan. Beautiful innings. Marvellous moment from him. Applause from Javed, from his teammates. 101 not out, 10 fours and a 6.
The first signs of fallibility and tiredness perhaps now coming for Javed. That was a useful delivery.
There's a beautiful shot. Even though he is 255 and has gone to 259 with that stroke, that was masterly effort.
There goes Javed. He came into bat yesterday at 5 minutes to 12. He's batted through every session in this match. And he's gone to one of the most innocuous deliveries of the lot. Well, that's the game of cricket, but what a marvellous innings. It's the 4th highest test innings ever played on this ground. And really a marvellous example of technique, temperament, application. Faultless innings in every possible way. And again, Dilly only came off about 6 running strides there. And hardly believe that the ball's come back. And suddenly that injured ankle, that goes down hard. He's not going to miss that one.
573 for 5. Graham Dilly looks as though he's leaving the field now. Damien D'Oliveira has come on. Dilly has done that ankle again, the one injured yesterday when the pigeon flew across in front of him. Cruel luck for him and for the team.
Each is off the mark with 2 there. And there was a thought that maybe Wasim Akram might have come in for this last 45 minutes. They've given it a bit of a go. And that's a beautiful stroke. Half volley there by Himbotham. He just really played that absolutely beautifully. Foot right to the ball, good follow through, and the ball speeding away to the cover boundary.
Well, we've already seen in this series what a talented player Ijaz is, and just look at that.
Embry to bowl.
Well, it's a good stroke, but John a bit annoyed. There's nobody at all on the offside behind square, and he can't afford to be cut. And running forward, and that could be out. And yes, magnificent piece of fielding by Himbotham. Took the ball short of the wicket and threw the stumps down at the bowler's end. Well, it takes something like that to change a game.
Here you can see the square cut. Beautiful shot. And Ijaz sets off like a bullet. Here they are running. You can see how fast he's running. He turns. Imran a little bit slow turning. Realises he's in trouble. He and Botham out of picture. You can't see him, but he throws that ball, knocks the middle stump out. Magnificent piece of thinking and throwing.
Yes, and Imran will be annoyed with himself because he was going to the safe end. There's no way he should have been run out there, but obviously not going for the runs as hard as Ijaz and thinking he could take his time, and he and Botham proving him wrong. New batsman is Salim Youssef, the wicketkeeper. Well, that's Pakistan's highest ever score against England, beating the previous 608 for 7 at Birmingham in 1971.
Ray's having a little chuckle here because his name is no longer in the record books as being captain of the England side.
I think you can be certain, though, it's one record Mike Gatting didn't really want. 616 for 6, with 6 more runs added up to the close of play. Ijaz Ahmed hasn't hit too many in the centre of the bat, but remember Salim Malik didn't yesterday either, and he went on to a century today, making 102 in all. Salim Youssef is there, and he batted well at Edgbaston, and Wasim Akram, we know, is a very good hard-hitting all-rounder. There might be some fun for the spectators if he gets cracking tomorrow, with Pakistan already with 616 on the board. The bowling figures for England, they don't make pretty reading at all. 2 for 127 for Dilly, who worked hard today and had no good fortune at all, eventually getting Javed Miandad in the most extraordinary circumstances, where he came off his short run just as a preface to going off the field. 3 for 180 for Botham, and I thought he bowled very well. What a good trier he is, and that run out of the opposing skipper Imran Khan shows just why on back to play for Worcestershire. Well, the early overs today went just about as they had yesterday. The Pakistan batsmen were in fine form, and the England bowlers looked as stiff as 2 boards. It really was a struggle for them at the start. They tried hard. We pick it up now in the 4th over at the very start. Botham is coming into bowl to Salim Youssef, and he is in good touch. That was an intended bouncer, but it finished up, well, not much more than waist height and just asked to be hit.
Yes, that's the easy ones to hit.
It's a good shot. Gower just managed to get his fingertips to it. There are 2 trailing Gower. Well, Well, it's not 6, it's only 4. 3 of them after it. I shouldn't think both of them is absolutely overjoyed about it.
David Gower getting to it just before the rope, flipping it up over the line.
Good shot. He can still manage to smile, but he won't know that he's reached 200 and joined a select band of bowlers from whom 200 runs have been taken in an innings. Still has a way to go to catch the most expensive analysis. And that was Chuck Fleetwood Smith. 87 overs, 11 maidens, 1 for 298.
Good pull shot straight to Jeff Holmes. 650 up.
Well, unlucky for Dilley here, because that was a full stroke he induced. And you see French, that was in the air quite a long time. Full length dive and just couldn't get his hands to it.
And that's through, and he does a 50, and a very nicely played 50 as well. 4 runs to extra cover. That's also the highest score that Pakistan have ever made in a test match, beating the 674.
He also takes Ijaz Ahmed to his highest test score. So a bit of history on 2 counts there.
And down the wicket this time and straight back over the bowler's head.
Well, that's the first real sign of airborne aggression, if that's the right phrase, we've seen today. Never to the pitch of it.
Nothing going right for Graham Dilley. It's not a very positive stroke at all. He sort of just pushes at it gently, inside edge onto the pad, and trickles just past the off stump.
John Embury to come on for his first bowl today, and the very first ball he bowls will set up another record. That's the most he will ever have bowled in an innings for England.
Well, having a dart there at John Embury, the ball just spinning a bit, hitting the pad, and 2 leg byes. Well, straightforward catch to Mike Gatting, shorter ball, going for the pull shot and straight in head eye, and Mike Gatting put it down.
Oh, poor old Mike Gatting. Nothing going right from at all, and that really was a very, very simple catch indeed. He didn't hit it in the middle, just the right height, and down it went.
But things are going desperately wrong for Graham Dilley at the moment. Oh, that's a magnificent catch. Yousaf just hitting through the ball, and Graham Dilley in full speed on his follow through, just putting the right hand down inches from the ground. Fine catch there.
Well, that couldn't have happened much better. The disappointment of that drop catch, and then a lovely pick up there by Graham Dilley. Beautifully balanced he was after his follow through. Well, Yousaf returns to the pavilion. Porton bowled Dilley 42. Very tidy innings in poor light.
Wasim Akram, the man coming to the wicket.
see how high on the bat this ball hits. Great piece of cricket. And Graham Dilley certainly deserved that.
Well, again, going for the big one. And Phil Edmonds at deep mid-wicket certainly didn't see that. He set off the wrong way to start with. Definitely a miss hit, but going for long on, and it went to mid-wicket to square like that.
Yes, this is the old slog, really. Didn't quite know where it was going. He got a very, very thick inside edge, and it went over mid-wicket. That's a terrific shot. Beautiful sweep shot.
The 700 came up with the first 4, and with the second 4, that's the second highest score made on this ground in a test match. Beautiful sweep shot here. The arm ball, but getting just outside leg stump there, and he just whacking it away to square leg.
And a good catch, well judged. Ijaz Ahmed lofts it out to Moxon at mid-off. For a moment, I suspect he lost it in the background. It is quite dark here, but took it very neatly indeed above his head. Ijaz Ahmed is gone, and well-deserved success for Graham Dilley.
Here he is driving at Graham Dilley, having got on his back foot. You see the way he leaned back then when he hit it, and Martin Moxon judging that to perfection.
Abdul Qadir is the new batsman coming out to join Wasim Akram. And there's another one for Worcestershire and Yorkshire. Nothing for Pakistan's leg spinner Abdul Qadir. Won't look too good in a score of 707, or even more than that.
I'm not sure how wholehearted Tim Robinson and Chris Broad's congratulations will be, because suddenly this ball's starting to dart around. That went quickly. Fine catch by Moxon.
Great performance from Dilley. He's got 5 wickets now on 3 occasions in innings in test matches. I wonder how much confidence Wasim Akram has in Tausif Ahmed. Well, he's got to take it. Dilley will be pleased. He's got his 6th wicket. Not too sure about Broad and Robinson, but that's their job as opening batsmen. They have to go out there and face the new ball for around 8 minutes. Probably an over from Imran and 1 from Wasim Akram, who was the last man out.
And a good bouncer. Simple catch for Botham.
That is a great scorecard for Pakistan cricket. They'll be able to look back on that in years to come and feel very proud of the way they batted. It was most entertaining all the way through. Lovely innings there from those 3 men. And today, Ijaz Ahmed 69 and Salim Yusuf 42 did their job as well. And Dilley came back with a marvellous fighting effort. I said earlier that both he and Botham looked very stiff at the start of their bowling. So they did. They couldn't get it together then, but Dilley was very unlucky as the innings went on. Finished with 6 for 154 from 47.3 overs and 10 maidens, and he can be very proud also of that effort. Botham 3 for 217 joins that select little band we were talking about, and a struggle for the spinners, not a wicket for them in 93 overs, and that will be very disappointing, not only for that pair but also for the skipper Mike Gatting. Well, the openers for England, a little bit of a surprise. Martin Moxon was the man to go out with Chris Broad rather than Tim Robinson. Imran Khan was on song with the first 2 balls. Good length deliveries to Chris Broad. Here's the 3rd ball with no runs yet on the board. Imran Khan. And he's gone. Beautifully bowled. What a good delivery. Had to play at it. Nicely caught by Salim Yusuf. Tragedy for England in this tough little period just before lunch. And they had to get through a couple of overs. Unable to do so.
Well, the ball before swung away, and look at this, in exactly the right slot. No fault at all on the part of Chris Broad. He got to play at that.
Tim Robinson has to go out now. Still with 4 minutes to play in this first session.
We'll see this one again, and you see it pitches round about middle. Starts to swing just before pitching, carries on its way off the seam. There's no way at all could Chris Broad not have played at that delivery.
Wasim Akram to continue to Martin Moxon.
It was almost worth a wicket. It almost cut him in 2. But it was beautifully taken by Salim Yusuf. Wonderfully well bowled by Wasim Akram. And Martin Moxon has survived. But what a great delivery.
First ball after lunch. Imran Khan to Tim Robinson. And Robinson away. Beautifully turned away. In swinger. Turned off his leg, his square leg, no problem at all, 4 runs. And that's probably good thinking that Qudair coming on. Well, the ball's still pretty new, 8 overs gone, so he'll be able to get that just that bit of extra bounce while the ball's still new. No ball call there, and unbelievably, that's the first no ball call in the whole match. Tim Robinson on 22, Martin Moxon on 8. Abdul Qudair to continue bowling from the pavilion, and he'll be bowling to Tim Robinson. Almost a catch then. It went pretty quickly, and Madassa sillied it off. The ball just about carried to his hands, but it went pretty sharp. That's a very fine catch, because it was a wide one. Moxon drove at it, and it went very, very quickly indeed, but straight into the first slip's waist. But well taken indeed there.
Very, very wide indeed, and driving at it, and beautifully taken by Javed. That went very fast.
David Gower, the incoming batsman.
A disappointing start for England on this very, very docile pitch. You can see looking down the pitch that little bit of rough outside the left-hander's off stump. David Gower's got to watch that.
And in fact, Qudair is now getting an official warning. David Constant not having a too wrong there. He's informed the other umpire, and Imran Khan, the captain, goes in the little black book, and that is an official warning. And there's a shout there for a bat and pad catch. Well taken by Madassa, sending it off, but no response from the umpire or Tim Robinson. Straight off the pad.
Here, Robinson getting right forward, but obviously off the pad. Beautifully picked up by Madassa.
Now it's Wasim Akram to Tim Robinson.
Nicely timed stroke by David Gower. 3 more to him. 50 up for England for the loss of 2 wickets. Broad out without scoring and Moxon for 8. Well, you get them in all sorts of ways. Robinson waiting for the ball to pull and perhaps suspecting it was the top spinner which would hurry on. In fact, it held up in the pitch. He looked to me to be well through with his stroke when the ball just brushed against, what, middle or perhaps even off stump.
Yes, one of the tricks of the trade of the leg spinner here. See that ball pitching just outside leg stump and turning appreciably, just brushing Robinson's right pad possibly, and flicking onto middle and off.
Gatting is the new batsman. 2 successes so far then for the over-the-wrist spinner. There are not many of them left in the world these days. They've been beaten to death by medium pacers and administrators. But sometimes they have their day. Abdul Qadir will come around the wicket for Gower and back over the wicket for Mike Gatting. That's a beautiful stroke. Just a little nudge away through mid-wicket. Perfect timing. That's good cricket from David Gower. Imran Khan is taking over from Wasim Akram. It's just what you'd need at that moment.
Very nearly disaster for England here. Imran nearly getting that, which means that David Gower has to go back. There was no calling at all then.
Nasser is at gully. No catch. It was played into the ground.
Another lovely stroke. David Gower has now become the first England batsman to score 1,000 runs against Pakistan.
That was that fierce square cut from David Gower. Tausif Ahmed. Imran Khan is of the opinion that he'll spin the ball quite sharply out there. There's the 4th one down, and that is a large disaster for England. David Gower falling to Tausif Ahmed just before tea. They lost Broad just before lunch, now Gower just before tea. 3 times Gower now in this series has played on, twice to the pacemen, once now to the spinner. Ian Botham takes his place.
I'm afraid not a great shot really this from David Gower. Ball not bouncing very high. Bottom corner, pulling away as he's playing the shot. Bottom of corner into the leg stump. And England deep in trouble.
England are looking for 2 big hundreds at least from somebody, and the number of
tea. They lost Broad just before lunch, now Gower just before tea. 3 times Gower now in this series has played on, twice to the pacemen, once now to the spinner. Ian Botham takes his place.
I'm afraid not a great shot really this from David Gower. Ball not bouncing very high. Bottom corner, pulling away as he's playing the shot. Bottom of corner into the leg stump. and England deep in trouble.
England are looking for 2 big hundreds at least from somebody, and the number of batsmen who can play that sort of innings, well, they're vanishing with too much regularity for England's peace of mind.
Getting away straight after tea, the first ball from Tosic, off the back foot, through the covers, 4 runs.
Well, the England captain's one of them. One thing he doesn't lack is determination.
And down the wicket again, a beautiful stroke again, wide of mid-on, getting right to the pitch. Well, that's the first 100 up for England. Another 4 of those just to save the follow-on.
Well, this was nearly Gatting's most destructive boundary. Look how close this goes to Ian Botham. Evasive tactics there. Very powerful hit.
Looks like that's the second official warning there for Qudair. Yes, the little notebook's out again. So anything else after that, and Qudair will be taken off for the innings. So problems there for Pakistan. It looks like he's possibly going to go around the wicket.
Yes, well, if he's gone round really to keep in umpire Constant's good books, then it's a big blow really for Pakistan. That's all Ian Botham has to do. Anything pitched outside leg stump, it all gives him all the protection he wants.
That's the 50 partnership. So pretty positive cricket there from England.
Mike Gatting's won a little battle because Wasim Akram's coming on instead of the off-spinner. So Gatting at least has proved 1 point.
And it looks as though Wasim Akram may have hurt himself in the foothold.
Looks like that Wasim Akram might in fact be going off. And as Mudassar is already off the field, that's 2 bowlers missing. Qudair warning and another warning and he'll be off. That would be 3 bowlers off, so Imran could begin to finish with problems like Mike Gatting had. Just pitching a little bit short. In both, not intending to hit it as fine as that, probably hit it square on the offside. It's semi-edge, but it went very quick indeed for 4.
But Imran's returning to the attack. He's going to come in from the pavilion end here, which is where he set off the England innings by dismissing Chris Broad in the first over.
The quick one here, Mike Gatting will have to be quick. Well, it could have been reasonably tight. Mike Gatting's 50, but hardly worth that kind of a risk at the moment. It's probably going to have a little discussion on the light. Imran's made it pretty clear that he's going to bowl. And I would say that is it for Badline.
Imran threw his head back in the air there. And I would have thought an experienced cricketer like him would have known that it was likely to happen if he continued to bowl.
In fact, Abdul Qadir was the one who should have come on at that stage, and I thought Imran Khan should have made it quite clear to the umpires, with whatever waving of the arms he needed, that it was to be Qadir who'd be coming in from the pavilion end. They might well have stayed out there for a little while had that been the case. Good partnership between Gatting and Botham so far. They've added 66, and it's still a long, long way to go. I'm afraid for England's sake. The Pakistan bowlers, they've done very well indeed. They've batted well throughout this match. Now they're on top with the ball. Imran 1 for 23. Abdul Qadir 2 for 54 from 20 overs. Wazir Akram is off the field injured. Ian Botham is taking strike now as we pick up the second ball of the first over. Imran Khan is the bowler.
A quick run here, but possibly they picked the wrong end to throw at there. Ian Botham was probably struggling more than Mike Gatting.
Yes, I think you're right there, Ray. There's a lot of hesitation here. Half, stop, start, and really Ian was in dead trouble. Ian Botham was in dead trouble, but possibly because he was left-handed, he felt it was easier to throw at Mike Gatting's end.
And Coder is, in fact, bowling in rubber-soled shoes today, not the spikes. Not that that makes any difference if he runs down the wicket. Mike Gatting's favourite stroke again, off the back foot, square on the offside. That's where he gets a lot of his runs. In the 52nd over, that last four from Mike Gatting brought the 150 up for England. Imran Khan will be bowling to Ian Botham. Now that's 4 runs, just playing defensive shot, and it runs away down to third man. No chance of the field stopping that, and that's Ian Botham's 5,000 runs in Test cricket, in addition to 373 wickets and 109 catches. Marvellous performance over 10 years of Test cricket.
Yes, it certainly is, and that little away swinger, that moved.
Well, that was well left by Mr. Gatting. Well, that was action replay. Very well judged. Imran can't believe that.
No, I think that was even closer, I reckon.
Out. Ian Botham going for the drive and getting a thick inside edge, and the stump removed out of the ground. That's the breakthrough that Pakistan wanted this morning.
A great disappointment there for Ian Botham. I think you'll probably find that that was a full toss. And he was trying to crash that through the covers. And he gets his big inside edge on it. Yes, that's what it is. It wasn't that big an inside edge either. And a full toss.
Incoming batsman is John Embry.
Well, tale of woe for England. Certainly the bottom half's right.
And he's gone. The England captain trying to hit Abdul Qadir down the ground. He's taken his second wicket this morning. That's good bowling. Defeated in the flight. He was trying to get down to drive. Couldn't get to it on the half volley. Caught by Imran.
Yep. Mike Gatting coming down the pitch. You see how far away the foot is from that ball. And hit it straight down Imran Khan's throat at wide mid-on. A disappointing end, really, under the circumstances.
There's Chris Broad, who started it off by getting one of the perfect dismissals an opener can ever get.
One of John Embury's favourite strokes, the sweep. Plays some unorthodox ones, but much of the time plays with a straight bat and good defence.
Yes, a very short pickup and beautifully paddled round the corner. He doesn't try and hit it. He just helps it round the corner. Roll of the wrist, keeping the ball down on the ground.
And his placement is often excellent as well. Nice square drive. That'll race away from the fielder. Yeah, that's a good over for John Embury. Block and hit fours, very much the method. This pitch is still very good. There's no excessive amount of spin or bounce there for the spinners. They still have to work for their wickets. It's the way you would like to see every pitch on the fourth day of a test match, just providing a little assistance for the spinners, but the batsmen can still play their strokes.
Well, that's a miss hit. And yes, safely taken that cover. Well, Bruce French is annoyed with himself there. No real need to play that shot. 2 days to play, just keep on batting away a bit.
And that's England's 6th wicket out of 7 now, which have gone to attacking strokes. And while you don't expect people to just cut all the shots out, it really won't please a lot of people, that one. A 184 for 7. England have just added 40 to their overnight score in 85 minutes and lost 3 very precious wickets.
Tausif Ahmed, the off spinner.
Well, there's a big shout there for a not behind the wicket. I must admit that would have been a very difficult one to give. John Embury going for a hard sweep from outside of stump. It must have been a bottom edge if he got a touch, and would have been very difficult to give, I would have thought.
Yes, here's John Embury swinging across the line. Interesting to see that might have brushed the front pad, but a very difficult one to give.
And Foster's the man at the crease.
That is out. Straight off the bat, or so it seemed from here. 8th wicket down for England for 198.
Well, and this is the strength of Tausif. He gets turned. There's Foster pushing in front of his pad. A very sharp catch to short leg there, but Tausif really is a useful performer. It doesn't give it much air, and they only play him when conditions are likely to be in his favour, which is one of the explanations for what is a very good test record, but an extremely useful and sometimes underrated off-spinner.
Bill Edmonds is the new batsman. Although Javed Mirdad is a long way back there, still wasn't able to cut that off. Up comes the 200 for England. And rightly there's applause for that, but still a long way to go. It's got the flipper away for 4. Put the ball. Goes into the 30s.
John Embury's just completed 1,000 runs in Test cricket, and without getting 100. And there's only 5 players have done that, and coincidentally, John Emburey is the third Middlesex player to do it.
One of those unorthodox strokes we're talking about. Those who block everything that looks like being a good ball and cream away at anything that looks a bit loose.
Well, we see Tauseef going wider again, and Emburey immediately spotting that. Foot outside the line and going for the hook. Didn't get hold of it, but a couple of valuable runs.
Good shot. Nice timing, nice placement, picked the right ball.
Yes, Embury's had this done to him often enough. He's decided when it's in a certain area, then he can trust his eye.
Beautifully timed. Beautifully timed. Very well played by Emburey.
Well, this was just in case anyone's needed any convincing about the previous shot.
That's not, I was going to say, that's very, very close. It looked to me as though it probably hit him on the full. Slightly quicker delivery. And it just seemed to play down the wrong line.
Very full-length delivery, this. Tossed well up, just drifting in a little. I think that's even hit the back leg. It's a leg break, which an unusual form of LBW decision, but I think we just might see that in the end has ended up hitting the back leg from a leg spinner that straightened up.
It was a nice shot from side on to show it going past the front leg and hitting the back one there. So not a question of the front one being all that far down, which it was. It was down, a yard or more, but the ball didn't touch it. Nor would he have been out had it flicked the front pad and then gone on to the back leg. Four more. .50 for John Emburey. Very good innings. Good gutsy knock.
Just look at that, 7 minutes over 2 hours, 109 deliveries, a 6 and 6 fours. It's push, push, block, block, and then whack. And suddenly 4 more runs. He really has built an innings there that has owed very little to fortune and a lot to his technique, temperament, application, just general hard-headed professionalism. And really, I think, looking at the way of some of the England players have lost their wickets today, then his approach might better have been copied by some of them.
That's Woodell's best ever performance then. 7 wickets for him. Fine piece of bowling.
John Emburey looking to hit this one away square, that short arm jab. Quickly, but super catch to give Javed his best ever 7-wicket haul in Test cricket. Applause firstly for John Emburey because of his 53, which is his 5th for England and his 2nd of the series, and then there's the man who's done all the damage this morning. Abdul Qadir, 44.4 overs, 7 for 96.
And I should think some more to come for Abdul Qadir. So well did he bowl in that England innings of 232. Gatting and Botham, resistance early, and then Emburey, a very sensible innings, the type of innings we've come to expect from him. Nothing, well, you wouldn't actually say there's anything pretty about it, but very, very effective. He's got a lot of courage and a great deal of common sense. The rest faded quickly, 232, and the bowling dominated, not completely by Abdul Qadir, but certainly to a great extent. 7 for 96. 44.4 overs, 15 maidens, his best ever figures in Test cricket. Tausif Ahmed gave him plenty of support, but the man who didn't get the figures he deserved there was Imran Khan, who I thought bowled quite beautifully this morning. 18 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 39, and was always dangerous. That was the situation when England completed their first innings at 232. They needed 476 to avoid an innings defeat. Well, here's Martin Moxon now, playing the last ball of the 4th over of the England second innings. Wasim Akram is the bowler, and he's just beaten the Yorkshireman with a short pitch delivery.
Again, going across him on the angle.
My goodness me. That young man's generating a lot of pace here. Pretty quick arm action. And Martin Moxon played at that again. 2 and 2.
And now it's Imran Khan to Chris Broad. Well, that was very, very near, and somehow the wicketkeeper managed to miss it as well. By signal, but that was very, very close to the edge of the bat.
Close to the bat and not far away from the stumps either. See where that pitched, and it went almost over the corner of Chris Broad's off stump.
As we expected now, reversion to spin. Qadir coming back.
Good shot from Martin Moxon. There's nothing wrong with the ball. It was a good length leg spinner. But Moxon used his feet well, kept the ball down.
Yes, the first really convincing shot that Martin Moxon's played against Qadir in front of the wicket, well to the pitch of it.
Imran Khan and Wasim Akram have done the job for 5 overs each. Not many runs have come. Now it's the leg spin of Abdul Qadir and the off spin of Tausif Ahmed.
Oh, that was a good delivery from Tausif. That certainly turned, and Chris Broad didn't know too much about that.
A beautiful delivery, this. Flighted, a bit slower, pitching about off stump, turning.
232 in the first innings, 18 for naught, still 458 behind. And there's 4 runs there for Martin Moxon. Shout, and what a way to get out, really. An off spinner down the leg side, and no need to play it, he needed to, and just flicking it round, and great disappointment there for Martin Moxon.
Here you can see it turning down the leg side and just glancing at it, and very well picked up by Yusuf.
Tim Robinson, the new batsman, coming in. Dismissal again. Well taken by the keeper. A bit unlucky to get out like that, but the keeper made a lot of ground. Kept down because the ball didn't bounce very high. So a good catch there by the wicketkeeper. That situation for England now, 22 for 1. Well, Chris Broad thinking here's 4 runs, and eventually nearly getting out from it.
And in the end, it wasn't really short enough, I don't think. And turning quite considerably, lucky to chop that down just over the top of the off stump.
Well, that's a fine stroke there by Tim Robinson. But they're over pitching, and Robinson very quick indeed onto that.
Lovely shot. See the front foot coming right out to the pitch of the ball there. super shot.
And well bowled there, certainly beating Tim Robinson's defensive push.
Well, we'll see, this one turns quite a bit. He's pitching on off stump, he's got to play at it. Perfect delivery.
Oh, and that's a miss hit, and yes, a good catch there by Wasim Akram. Full length dive, not a very good shot. I'm just saying, Jack, that they were applying themselves and then they play a shot like that.
Well, you get a sweep like that, which we shall see in a minute was neither one thing nor the other, because you've got no control over it. We'll see where this pitch is. Pitching outside leg stump, bounced a little bit, no way of getting over that at all. Just helped it round, and Akram slow to sight it in the first place and came in and made a marvellously athletic catch of it. And why not do what he's doing there? Not only disappointed Tim Robinson, because this was his sort of situation where along with one or two other players, he's got plenty to play for. If you lose your wicket like that in a situation like this particular one, well, it's not exactly on the plus side of your credit ledger. And David Gower now coming into bat. We shall just see how Abdul Qadir got his wicket. Again, it's pitching, you see where it's pitching, down at least 4 feet in front there of Tim Robinson, who thus had got very little chance of keeping over that sweep at all. Again, just emphasises what a good young man's catch that was.
Yes, it was a real stand-up sweep. I've never really quite seen a shot played like that on the sweep before, and no way he could ever control the stroke. David Gower then in what will be his last test match innings for quite a while. And it was nearly all over first ball.
There we are playing for turn. Either the top spinner or in fact the googly, whatever.
And there's 4 more to the man in occupation out there.
Well, there's a sign of a class batsman. He's played everything defensively in the middle, and suddenly a short ball on it like a flash.
They'll stop that just inside the boundary. The outfield's fast today.
That takes David Gower past Chris Broad.
Very good shot from David Gower. Right to the pitch of the ball that time. Just caressed it away. And that's almost a replica of the stroke earlier in the over, except he's hit it just a little more crisply. Change now. Abdul Qadir, who's been going from the Vauxhall end, is going to have a rest. Imran Khan is going to come on.
And a bit of relief there for Chris Broad. But he's doing the job that England require. There's no option but to really play the way he's played, and that was a particularly fine stroke.
Yes, and this is one of Chris Broad's favourite strokes. Timed out beautifully.
Abdul Qadir coming on this end.
There's a shout this time, and yes, David Gower's gone. little bit lazy there, and back and pat catch, and Madassa taking the catch.
Once again, tragedy for England. David Gower, who'd played very, very competently and easily, looking in full control, is pushing forward this one. It's pretty wide outside the off stump, really. Little inside edge. And a simple catch there from Madassa. And Mike Gatting coming out. The night watchman. And I'm sure David will be very disappointed about that.
89 for 3. So England back in trouble again.
And I thought with the new batsman, perhaps Imran might continue, but Tosif now from the Vauxhall end. Something happening there. I think Tosif has probably put his finger out. Mike Gatting offering to chop it off with the bat. Tosif appears to be heading for the pavilion. Cracking shot. Mike Gatting's favourite stroke, short, wide of the off stump, and a really positive strike there. Terrific shot.
And there's a shout there, but I don't think it certainly came enough. Mike Gatting getting outside off stump, but of course he didn't play the shot, so that wouldn't have made any difference as the ball was hitting the wicket.
That was a fair shout, but in fact the ball turned and would have missed the off stump, although Mike Gatting patted it away. Good decision there by Ken Palmer.
The last day at 95 for 3. A long haul ahead of them, as we'll see in a moment when the match situation is shown. Mike Gatting is not out 5, and Chris Broad, who's done a great job there to stay in right from the start, is 26 not out. The bowling figures once again dominated by the spinners. They've done most of the work. Abdul Qadir, 20 overs, 2 for 37. He's taken 9 wickets in the match so far. Tosif Ahmed had a setback this morning because Wasim Akram wasn't able to take the field. He's a very talented young bowler. He'll be missed out there, although the 2 spinners will do most of the work today, I should think. He's been taken to hospital for a check for appendicitis and an X-ray. Well, things were slow at the start, as one might imagine, with England purely on the defensive, trying to get through the day without losing all their wickets. And in the first 2 overs, only 1 bye was added to the total. We pick it up now with the second ball of the 3rd over. Imran Khan is coming in, and Mike Gatting is taking stock. Put it down. Catchable, and Imran is not very happy. Salim Malik at first slip. Javed has gone to second.
Yes, very quick delivery this. It's leaving Mike Gatting. Has a push at it and really went very quickly low to the right, but he should have hung on to that. In fact, Mike Gatting thought he'd got it. He was walking away.
The outside edge, but it wasn't thin enough.
Yes, it's going down when it's played. Bouncing halfway to the ring of close fielders and going through the gap.
It's more off the middle of the bat, and the outfield is fast. 2 boundaries in this over where Imran is striving for all-out attack.
Picture almost completed now. He's got the last few wickets to get in and then completed.
Tosif coming down towards the pavilion end.
Chris Broad played that pretty well. He got a thickish edge, but he did keep it down and got it wide of Mound, let it slip.
Yes, good delivery this. Pitching just outside the off stump and turning quite sharply.
Imran Khan, the Pakistan captain, just leaving the field for a moment. Quadair taking over at the Vauxhall end. Oh, Mike Gatting just managing to kick that away. It was just trickling back onto the stumps there.
Yes, hitting the bat, dropping down and just in time. Going straight towards the stumps.
And that's Mike Gatting's favourite stroke. Anything a bit short, and he's very, very strong there. Square on the offside, 4 runs. And the news on Imran Khan is that he is off the field with a strain. Nothing really decided just about where the strain is at the moment. Well, bit of fortune there for Mike Gatting. Coming down the wicket to drive, and whether it's just a faint inside edge, yes, just a little inside edge, so you couldn't really blame the keeper, but bit of fortune there for Mike Gatting.
Well, Gatting lucky not to be bowled, lucky not to be caught, and lucky not to be stumped. On all 3 counts there.
This time Mike Gatting pulling the sweep, and there'll be no doubt about that being 4 runs. That's a 50 partnership coming up between these two off 149 balls. Pretty slow going, but that's all England have got to play for at the moment. There's a shout, and this time Chris Broad's being given out. I must admit, he doesn't look too happy with that.
Tossed up, spinning back in to the pad and out there, nicely picked up. See Broad well forward again, ball turning back into him, and as he thought, beating the inside edge.
Ian Botham, the man coming to the crease, along with David Gower, not playing Test cricket this winter. Well, again, the Gatting square cut, this time just behind square, and same result, 4 runs.
There's his first run. He's been in for 22 deliveries. Attempting nothing rash at all. It would be ironic if England ever did get out of this huge hole that they're in, if it was one of defensive innings from both them which helped them accomplish it after all he's done with a bat over his 10-year Test career the other way.
Nice shot. 50 to Mike Gatting. 2 half-centuries in this match for the England captain.
No lack of application from the England captain.
That would have been a marvellous catch.
Well, it's certainly a strange thing to do in the middle of this England innings. He hit it quite well, but he hit it straight into Javid's stomach.
That was brilliantly fielded. All sorts of things going on out there at the moment that shouldn't be going on, but Gatting is still there.
Oh, this is really interesting here. All sorts of things going on, and Madassa had hit. Mike Gatting would have been out by yards. Very, very odd happenings. A lot of chances being taken. Really could have lobbed it to the keeper.
Indeed, he could have done just that, and that would have been a crushing blow for England. Mike Gatting a little bit of good fortune there, and earlier in the morning as well. 61 not out he was. One more run was added to take the score up to 170 for 4, and Botham had made just one. Chris Broad out in slightly controversial circumstances there to give Abdul Qadir that wicket. 3 for 67 he had at lunch from 37 overs and 17 maidens. And at lunch, England 306 more runs to avoid an innings defeat, but more important, they had to keep 6 wickets intact. That was an enormous job they faced. Here's the first ball after the luncheon interval. Abdul Qadir is the bowler. Taking strike is England captain Mike Gatting.
Well, that was a generous helping of pudding after dinner, shall we say. A lovely, juicy full toss. Mike Gatting is away through mid-wicket for 4. At the moment, there's a bit of a discussion going on. Quader's wanting to leave the field, probably discussing whether a substitute can be allowed. Mustabar, the substitute, just come back on now for Quader. And the new ball is being taken.
As expected, Madassa to share the new ball with Wasim Akram off the field.
That's a time stroke there for Mike Gatting. Through extra cover, 4 runs. Madassa, of course, not bowled for a long time in this match. He'll be a little bit stiff. Well, Imran Khan's going to bowl from the pavilion end, which I think most of us thought he ought to have done before now, because he did have a very, very good spell from this end earlier in the match. It's an edge, but not quite carrying there to third slip. Mustabar's the fielder, the substitute.
Yes, we see Botham relaxed grip and just managing to keep that ball from carrying.
Well, good length ball, a little bit of width, and that's one area that even Botham does like them in, just a little bit on the up. And really that whistling away down the third man. Madassa trying the bouncer, certainly getting the ball head high, but again Mike Gatting rolling the wrist, controlling the shot with the right hand and knocking it straight down to the ground. That's 200 on the board for England. Mike Gatting on 78, Ian Botham on 30. Well, again, Mike Gatting playing the shot beautifully, but unfortunately, Ijaz has got a nasty knock there.
See it again. You see Gatting pivot onto this short one. Again, hit it down as he'd done twice in the previous over. He's just trying to take evasive action, but there's nothing you can do when you're in the firing line of a shot like that. He's shown himself to be a brilliant fielder in that position, but not for nothing is it known as Boot Hill.
And Abdul Qadir comes on. It's a reasonable enough shout. He was the quicker top spinner. Bowler's entitled to ask for that. We've gone past leg stump, but not by all that much. 4 runs and a good shot. It was the wrong one, I think, and Gatting looked as though he picked it. Played through the spin that was coming into him.
Yes, a wide half volley. And a very positive shot there from Mike Gatting.
Now off spinner Tawseef Ahmed.
Yes, that went off the top edge. It could so easily have gone almost anywhere.
Well, I don't really think they were serious. I think it was just a gentle question to umpire Constant.
Yes, I think if you see this, it's picked up at forward short leg. The bowler has no intention of appealing at all. Goes right off the knee of the pad. And he waits, he sees it's caught, somebody goes up and suddenly the bowler turns round and appeals.
Abdul It's a good shot. Nice way to bring up your 100. A good innings from the England captain. 45th first-class 100 he's made, but the 9th Test 100 and his second against Pakistan.
That's a fine innings by Mike Gatting.
The off-spinner there just over-pitching, a bit of width. And Ian Botham straight into that one through the covers. And that's the 100 partnership. An edge, no chance. The ball going right between first slip and keeper, and very fine.
Yeah, no question about that being an outside edge.
That's 250 up for England. Mike Gatting moving on to 115. Quader's bowling from the Vauxhall end and just tiring a little bit, and Mike Gatting begin to take toll of him. Another 4 there to deep mid-wicket. And that's a good stroke this time, and that's the area that Ian Botham does like, and just outside off stump, a little bit of room, and he's very, very powerful indeed there.
Watch the foot movement. He goes across, forward, and just hits it from where he is.
And that was well bowled, and he cut back, followed Ian Botham as he tried to get away. Certainly gloved him and falling short of slip.
And that follows him in, and he gets tucked up, and it hit his top hand, in fact, and dropped just short of third slip.
And a beautiful stroke, as good as anything played in the match. But just slightly over pitching, and Mike getting a beautiful off drive there.
Absolutely perfect this is. He hasn't had to hit it. Just a lovely foot to the pitch of the ball. Look at that follow through.
It's the first time that score is beginning to look a little bit more reasonable. We've had a lot of hundreds there where they've needed, but now down to 197. And Imran Khan coming back at the Vauxhall end. That's more likely both from the bowl on the up through extra covers.
There we see Ian Botham. He's faced 173 balls, and that gives you some idea really of how he's subdued all his attacking instincts, because his highest score in Test cricket, 208 on this ground 5 years ago, he only faced 226 deliveries. So there we are, just 49 deliveries between 36 today and 208 5 years ago.
It really is a dangerous position to stand, that Salimidov. You're going to bowl short of length just outside off stump. Both these two, it's their favourite shot, and both of them again cracking that for 4 through the covers. Again, the bouncer almost taking a wicket there. Mike getting just a little bit slow, and the ball just missing the edge of the bat. Joseph Ahmed back at the pavilion end.
4 runs. There is a fielder down there, but it's the young lad who's across the other side of the boundary. Well, will they run 5? I don't think they'll bother. .300 up for England, 300 for 4. It's a bit cheeky. $150 for Mike Gatting.
Well, he deserves the runs, although they in themselves haven't saved the game, but that stay of 5 hours and 1 minute, that's the thing that's done it.
Madassa Nazar is on, and Madassa has been very involved with the game out there today. Not going to enjoy that very much.
Well, Javed found this amusing, and in the end Botham smiled back, but very painful. Thick inside edge. See it deflected onto those dancing pumps of his.
.50 for Ian Botham.
202 deliveries, 4 hours and 9 minutes, and that was his 9th boundary.
After that boundary, Ian Botham made one more single to take him on to 51. 315 for 4. England at the close of play. That was when the captains decided to call today, just a moment or two before 5:30. And with rain in the offing, light rain had been falling for quite some time and inconveniencing the Pakistan bowlers. Imran Khan, no reflection of the way he bowled there, that none for 59 from 26.3. Abdul Qadir had to leave the field later in the day, 3 for 115 from 53 overs and 21 maidens. Both he and Tausif Ahmed, I suspect, suffered from tired fingers towards the end, and no wonder the amount of work they had to do. Wasim Akram off the field today. That is what happened in the match. Pakistan 708 all out after winning the toss. England 232, and then 315 for 4, match drawn. Very fine effort from England today to get away with the draw, and that is what happened in the complete Cornhill Test match series. First match drawn when England were on top, and the second drawn, both matches influenced by the weather. Pakistan, a fine victory at Headingley, an innings in 18, and then England almost there at Edgbaston with that run chase in the 4th innings of the match, and the 5th one here drawn with Pakistan winning the series. So at the presentation after the game, the man of the match was awarded to Javed Miandad. Magnificent performance from him. He batted wonderfully well for Pakistan, set them on the road towards that 708. He had plenty of assistance from Imran Khan and Salim Malik, but his was a great effort. The England player of the series was Mike Gatting, the captain, who was consistent all the way through. The only area where he didn't succeed was at Headingley, when England were beaten. The rest of the time, he was a big run getter, and Imran Khan was the man of the series for Pakistan.